What is up, guys? I am Sensei Finito, and this is Battery CEO, and welcome to another episode of Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture.
Yep. And on today's episode of Marvel Bros, we're talking about Dr. Fate casting in the incoming Black Adam movie. More delays in the MCU, and Warner Brothers. I don't know. They're fumbling the Snyderverse. But with that said, please make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts at Marvel Bros 23, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel where we post regularly, and we're up to date right now. So go ahead and check out all those videos.
That's right. And right now, we are also live with this on our website. That is www.marvelbros.com, where you can watch this live. Like I said, you can also donate to our website. You can purchase merchandise, and you can join our Discord at the top right-hand corner of there. And also, all of Marvel Bros pop culture news updates are now available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. So make sure you guys check that out as soon as you can. So, yeah, start us off, brother.
All right. So,
are we good on the audio? Is that what
that's what I was saying. Yeah,
all right,
we're good there. So, I don't know about you.
I'm sorry.
I had a lot of fun with the first couple of Transformers movies. Now, we have two more movies that are officially in the works. One of them, I think, is like a reboot of sorts.
What?
I think kind of retelling of Transformers as a whole. And the second one is going to be adding on to like the Bumblebee universe. Like I think it's part 2 to Bumblebee or something like that. I know that movie did pretty well. It was a pretty good movie. I don't know. Did you check out Bumblebee?
I think I did just recently watch Bumblebee with the fam, and it seemed like a pretty good movie. It looked like a pretty good reboot. You know what I'm saying? Like a really good solo movie. A solo movie for Bumblebee. Very kid-centric, kid-friendly, I would say. I like the old ones, but this one was better, though. You know what I mean? In a storytelling way, I guess you could say. So this doesn't come as a surprise to me. Hopefully, this is gonna kind of lead into Hasbroverse that we've been talking about. You know, for the last I think that's been like a thing we've been talking about for the last maybe year, and you know what I'm saying, here and there we've been talking about it, and I think that restarting with the Transformers could be a really great way to get the ball rolling. I would love to see them just kind of intertwine everything, bro. Like it would be amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be. I'm down for this. I don't know about you, but I'm down for this. I know some people are like, man, another Transformers movie, but I feel that as long as they're, doing it justice, and they're not because they did Bumblebee justice. I feel like every movie hasn't been too played out, so to speak. It's been worth the watch. So
the first 2 or 3 are kind of like my favorite. After that, I wasn't a big fan of like the original Transformers storyline that they kind of gave to us. But Bumblebee was great. I thought it was a cool addition, and I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with you, brother. Moving right on to the next one, though. We have some new posters for the Suicide Squad. Man, if you guys haven't seen the trailer for that, get ready because our video, I think our trailer video is going to be up real soon on that one. So you could definitely watch it with us because that trailer was amazing. And I saw some of these stills when I was uploading them, and they look pretty nice. So let's take a look. Cool. Let's take a look.
And these stills are basically breaking down. Now, these are all the character posters. There's actually a couple more, but these are the ones that I was able to find. And each poster is dedicated to a specific character within the Suicide Squad. And so this first one here, we got Deadshot. Is it Bloodshot or Deadshot? It's Bloodshot. And he seems like the gunslinger of the crew.
He definitely does seem like the gunslinger. This is a really awesome poster, though.
It is. They all look pretty. They're all really good. Really colorful too.
I love the bullets flying down, and then once again, like I was saying, look at his suit, man. That thing is raw, bro.
It just looks practical,
It looks very practical. I agree with you completely. I really like this. This is a really nice one. Right here it says "Don't get too attached" at the bottom,
Oh,
So I
see,
guess that
see, see
yo,
that.
yeah, that might mean that everyone. What if everyone dies, yo? What if?
So I found out that the villain, apparently is like the second biggest villain in like Justice League history. Um,
What?
yeah, so we might have to make a video on that because I don't think a lot of people know that.
Mm.
That might be the first of our character breakdowns that are currently,
In the
flowing
works.
through our minds right now. So look
Definitely.
forward to that. Um,
Ooh, that's
yeah,
awesome. That sounds really cool. I didn't know that at all. Like
yeah,
that's news to
I was
me.
blown away. I didn't realize it. Like I guess, like from what I saw, like I guess I don't know what he does, but there was like a comic book version of it that I saw, like a bunch of soldiers and stuff.
Hmm.
They had the star, like literally a star on their face, like if they were being under control.
Oh
So I don't know if
snap!
that's something we're going to see in the movie. We didn't see anything like that in the trailer,
No,
but
definitely not.
it would make sense because this is like a giant creature. So like I'm assuming any giant creature like that that's smart would need to have like some sort of minions, and I think that probably might be the direction we're going. But I don't know.
I think that would be. I'm not gonna lie. I think that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
like it's like their own troops per se. Like his own troops outside of being like a super like what's cosmic being. But yeah, he's pretty cool. I don't know his name off the top of my head though. That's the issue. That's the other thing.
we have another, and then we have more posters too. So I'm not sure what this guy's name is, but
Yeah,
I
I'm not
liked
sure.
his little
Mhm.
arc in the trailer.
Yeah,
It was very dope. I'll say.
they showed him a
Um,
lot, like kind of suspiciously too. Like I wonder where his story comes into play, and it might be like, oh yeah, he's like an important character, but he might be the first to die. I don't know.
yeah, because it seemed like he was kind of an important character.
He popped up like 4 or 5 times.
From the trailer, it kind of gave me the vibes of when they picked up Harley Quinn, or
Hmm.
when she like from the prison. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
she like kind of broke out or whatever was going on there. That's kind of the vibes that it gave me.
yeah,
Um, so and she ended up being an important character.
yeah.
And oh, look at all the targets falling down around him though.
And
That's really dope. I
it seems like his
like that a lot.
powers are like he can read angles really well, so he could throw stuff to
Hmm.
bounce off walls, like how he did the ball. He bounced off like I
Yes.
think 4 or 5 different angles and then caught it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. His powers are a little a mystery, but like we just know that he can read those angles and uh,
Definitely.
kind of get has a throw hand. So it's kind of interesting to see what his powers are. What else we got?
Right here we have Shark
Ooh,
Man,
bro, that
which
photo
is
you
dope.
sent me
Yeah,
with
exactly.
I forgot he was in the Flash, and you know
Yeah,
what? He looks way better in the
he
Flash than he
did.
does
If
here.
you guys watch The Flash, then you know that the shark dude. I don't know what his name is. I don't want to call him Shark Man, but I feel like his name is Shark Man, so I'm just gonna say Shark Man. Shark Man was in The Flash, and he actually looked a lot better than he did in this trailer, to me at least.
Mhm,
As did the Thinker, who was also in the
mhm.
trailer.
Yeah,
And but I mean, I still like this one. Look at the jellies, the little jelly people like
I think
falling
it's a
down around
cool,
him.
fun design for him. I think, and I'm sure like his
Yeah,
design kind of fits his personality too.
that's what I was kind of thinking as well. He kind of seems
Mhm.
like the one from Shark Tale. You know, the shark from Shark Tale that
Yeah,
and he's all super nice.
yeah,
And he doesn't want to like eat any of the fish. He's like, oh no,
mhm,
that's kind of how he looks. But at the same
yeah,
time, he seems like a monster, like a beast. I know we saw him. Like,
mhm.
if you didn't see the trailer, I don't want to ruin
Yeah,
anything for you, but
yeah,
it
yeah.
was really freaking
We were tripping. You
big.
should see our reaction.
Yeah, just make sure you guys check out the YouTube channel for our reaction video. And if you can right now, please make sure you drop a like and a share on the stream, because it really
Yep,
does help us out around here.
definitely.
And going on to the next, ooh, what is his name? Rick Flag.
I I kind of I don't know if they did his character justice in this one, but I don't know what he's supposed to be like in the comics. Like
I don't think we really needed to get him done justice because we've seen him before in the old Suicide Squad. You
That
know
is,
what I mean?
it's a different
Like,
telling.
yeah, this is for us to kind of get an understanding of the other characters more. I feel like the way I really feel is like a lot of the characters that they shined on in the trailer are going to be the ones that like get 86 like straight out of Deadpool.
Yeah.
But hey, I really like these posters. Are they posters or are they? No, yeah, they're posters.
Yeah, they're
I
character
really
posters.
like these character posters, and I like how they have the stuff flowing from them that represents each character. You know what I mean? Let us know if you guys are hyped for this new Suicide Squad that's going to be coming to us August 6th on HBO Max.
Yep. HBO Max is going to be, I don't know, the move that they made is dope, man. Like,
yeah, I agree. We've had a blast watching these movies, and I feel like, bruh, like,
and this
who is this chick?
I think she can control mices, like,
oh my goodness,
like Ant-Man, but with rats.
Oh my gosh, Ratwoman.
Yeah. I don't know what her name is, but that's probably a good nickname for her.
Yeah, that's a good guess, right? Ratwoman.
I'm not sure how those powers can, like, are used. I'm sure there's uses for that, but like, I don't know, like, maybe like, I don't know if she can morph them into like things and like attack, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know to what extent, like, her powers, like,
yeah,
it's one of those odd powers that, somehow find a use for in the movie, but and I think she's the one that tells Deadshot in the trailer, like, hey, like, I'm gonna be the one saving your life. And like, I don't know if you remember that, but
yeah, I do.
I think that was her character.
And she kind of gave me vibes of the chick from, what is it called? The show that was on DC Universe.
Titans?
No, the other one, Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol? Okay,
yeah. Yeah, the female from Doom Patrol. I don't know if you watched Doom Patrol, but
I've watched a couple episodes, but
yeah, that's just the vibe she gave me. But this next deal is one of my favorites, I will say, and one of the ones that this character is one of the characters that I'm most excited for.
Bro,
I am. What is this guy's name?
He was killing us in the trailer.
Yo, is hilarious, man. Oh, I can't wait for his show.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
His show is going to definitely be amazing. Because if you guys don't know, he is also getting his own show on HBO Max, and I believe it is going to also. No, that's not going to be directed by James. No, it is going to be directed by James Gunn, right?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah,
I think he's writing it.
Writing.
I don't know if he's directing, but I know he's writing it. I think.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and this is something. This is amazing, though. I'm not even. I'm just juiced. I'm just juiced for everything that's to come with DC. They're trying their best to hang on into this this fight for superhero movies and shows and whatnot. And man, I'm gonna say that they definitely threw their hat in the race with a Justice League Snyder cut.
I think so.
Without that, I don't think I would even care as much about this movie. Like, we would still be hyped for it. Don't get me wrong, but coming off of that Justice League high, woo, man, it got me really pumped for this one, yo. Because that movie was like half of a movie, and it was still amazing. Like, imagine if they really made that movie the way they made like Endgame and Avengers. It would be great, but. It was, I mean, it would be greater than it was. And this movie, I feel like they gave it that time, that love. You know what I mean? James Gunn, we already see what he can do.
Yeah.
So I'm just really hyped. And we can definitely also see that James Gunn is not scared to let people be themselves as actors.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm pumped. Peacemaker's gonna be a dope show. He had us rolling in the trailer. I don't know. John Cena just has that personality and that voice that makes you want to laugh, but also be like really invested and get really intense at the same time.
Yeah,
he's been in really funny roles, and then he's also been in like really like actiony, like serious roles, and he's done pretty well. He's actually a pretty decent actor, and he's actually in a lot of movies too. Like, thinking about it, he's like him, Dave Bautista, and The Rock are kind of similar in that, like, they're like always trying to like work on and being in movies and trying to always be. Obviously, The Rock's the big boy out of the three.
Yeah,
but
obviously, yeah.
especially with Black Adam coming up. So
Yeah,
it's
which
going to
I
be a
am
stacked
definitely hyped for.
DC universe. It'll be stacked.
Yeah, but it needs to be stacked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's about time that they do something to throw their hat in the race. Like I was just saying, like Shazam kind of did it, Aquaman kind of did it. All these little movies that kind of, had you invested. But man, I can't wait to see what's come. Moving on with these, there's a lot of stills. I think we got like two more.
Amanda Waller. Okay, the bomb controller.
I really like her character from the first Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
and so I heard you say from when we saw Rick Flag that this is a different telling. So what does that exactly mean? Does that mean that this isn't canon to this first Suicide Squad that we had? Like,
I don't think it is.
Okay, but we do have similar characters.
Yeah, some of the same cast came back. Not all of them did. A notable one is we don't have Will Smith again.
Yeah,
we don't have Enchantress. I wasn't a fan of that villain. She just kind of stood there and talked and waved hands. With that said, I had fun watching the movie. So it wasn't like. But again, I think both the MCU and the DCU kind of have that villain issue. I mean, obviously there's some good villains on both sides, but they also kind of have dropped the ball a lot of the times.
That is very true. I can agree with you completely on that. Sometimes their villains are just like, bro, what are you guys thinking? To be honest, whose idea was that? It's one of those. We like you guys couldn't have thought about this from the jump. You know what I mean? And we also see Amanda Waller being a beast. Once again, even in the trailer, I really like the trailer.
Yeah.
And that's why it was confusing to me, at least, because from the trailer, all of the characters were very similar. Like Rick Flag and Amanda Waller were very similar to their the other Suicide Squad counterpart movie. So hopefully they differentiate it somehow. Or maybe they won't differentiate it, and then they're just telling us that it's two different things. But when we watch it, it's like, boom, nah, this is actually the same thing. And then they kind of make it cohesive. Joker's not in this movie, is he? Jared Leto?
No, I'm pretty sure that's a hard no.
Okay.
If it's a surprise, I wouldn't doubt it, but I'm pretty sure it's a hard no.
Yeah.
And WB would be for it.
Look at that.
Good old Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn looking dope as hell. Look at her costume right here, the red and black. I'm loving this new
that red and black
fit that she has, because we have not, I don't think we've seen this iteration yet. And that is saucy the way she's rocking it with the flowers around her though.
And the trailer made her character seem pretty cool. In terms of like with the development and like her interactions with the other squad mates, and just the importance of her role seems pretty interesting. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
What she's going to be doing.
As we saw from the trailer, she was very she's very still Harley Quinn. Pretty hilarious. And then it seems also that pretty much everybody is pretty hyped for the Suicide Squad. I put out a little poll, and everyone has answered the poll saying that they're hyped. No one's saying that they're over DC. Everybody's saying they're hyped, so that's a good thing. And here we go to our last poster that we have for the Suicide Squad.
Why? I don't
gotta save the best for last, brother.
What's the point? Obviously, this is the person who voices this character is how do you say Taika
Waititi.
Taika Waititi. That's the dude who plays his voice. So, Thor Ragnarok director is voicing this dude. No idea what he does. We just saw him look a window. That's it.
Yo, hilarious, man. Hilarious.
What if he's like a vicious wolf of some sort? Like a humanoid wolf.
Oh, and like he transforms or something, and then once he transforms, that's when he's actually a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Until then, he's just a brain dead, half rat animal ferret man.
I don't know what. I just want to know the thought
Oh
process on that.
man.
He might be the best character in the show, in the movie, honestly. Low key, we just don't know. But
I mean, look at Korg. Korg went on to be like one of the best characters from Thor Ragnarok, and that was voiced by Taika Waititi. So I'm wondering if this character is going to end up being like one of those type of characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where it's like, oh man, like that was hilarious. Everything they said was just super funny.
I look forward to learning about him. I really do. Maybe when maybe we'll get like trailers dedicated to each character, low key. Maybe we'll get one on him. Kind of give us some insight as to what he is or why he's that way, you know. But maybe a relative of Cheetah, low key. Like I don't know. Cheetah's long lost son. Some. Super outlandish.
Right, you're wildin'.
I'm just spitballing here. I don't know. Like I'm just
I'm just spitballing here, he says. You're hilarious. But going on to what we have next is it me? Is it you? I'm not sure.
I think here I got this one. We talked about this earlier in the week, actually. The untitled Marvel movie set to release on 10/7/2020. People were saying it's possibly Blade, but then you and I did the numbers, and it looks like the next Ant-Man could also be a time slot.
Yeah, I think that is what we ended up realizing at the end of our number crunching. We was like, okay, if all these movies are coming out and we know about this movie, that movie, okay, we got everything. Okay, Ant-Man Quantumania is the only one that doesn't have a date set for it. So most likely Ant-Man Quantumania will be coming out on 10/7/22. That is if they don't delay it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
assuming
what do you think about that? What do you think? Do you think it'd be what do you want it to be? That's my real question. Ant-Man Quantumania, Blade Runner, do you want it to be that mutant movie that they just talked about that they were working on, you know?
I'm feeling Blade, man.
Blade? What about a Young Avengers movie?
I'd be down for that. I feel like it's too early for that though. Like we just don't know how
think about how many shows we have from here until October 7th of 2022.
Yeah, we have almost half the slate at that point. Never mind. Okay, so that might work.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. Because we're going to have Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, that mystery movie, and Ant-Man.
You know what? I think we need Ant-Man first before we get Young Avengers.
Ant-Man, they usually use it as like a good filler to in between movies. And like throw some crazy stuff in there to like expand the universe. So
I think they could make Ant-Man a Young Avengers. Like, you know what I mean? Like make Ant-Man Quantumania the first Young Avengers movie that's not Young Avengers.
Like in Marvel's Avengers, how Hank Pym like basically was like the he, like ran an entire like Inhuman
exactly
hideout.
Basically, he had a whole secret society of Inhumans working for him, and that would be. I mean, I could see that. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for that. I really want to see Cassie now that she's grown up become Stature. You know what I mean, and really assume that role because it's in the comics. Stature and Kate Bishop are both like they both have taken the roles as being the leader. So I'm wondering who it's going to be in, the Young Avengers. But I'm down for this.
It's crazy they recasted Cassie after Avengers Endgame. I don't know if you remember that.
So it's not the same actress that was in that movie?
It's
what?
I've seen Freak. It's like this blonde chick and Vince Vaughn. They body switch, and like Vince Vaughn's a killer, and he's like a killer.
Oh no! Didn't that just come out?
Yeah, it came out a little bit ago, but it's that actor.
Oh yeah! Oh wow!
She's in a lot of movies actually.
I wonder why they switched that. But
that's what I'm curious about too. I don't know if it was like maybe the actor wasn't ready to do the physical part the physicalness that her character might need to bring later on. Maybe she just couldn't do it anymore. Maybe she didn't want to be in that type of role. I don't know. I don't know. I'm assuming all this was kind of kept secret. Like I'm assuming to all actors, honestly, like they just don't know their full roles or full potential yet.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, I
like
see what you're saying. Yeah, bro. I mean, we still don't know who Taskmaster is, so I know they don't be
yeah,
selling them nothing.
it's like yeah, hey, we need you for a 30-second role, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, we need you for the next 5 years, all year round, and you're just like, what?
You have to block out your entire schedule.
For the next 5 years? That's a big responsibility, and you know what?
Yeah,
A lot of these actors are able to do it and still be able to do other movies, but that's a
yeah,
busy schedule, man.
yeah. Tom Holland, man, he is a acting robot, yo.
Yeah,
He's been in so many movies over these past couple of years.
I think this year alone, we got Cherry. He just finished
hmm
Spider-Man 3. He's in
hmm
that movie with
Daisy Ridley,
Daisy
yeah.
Ridley.
He was in that movie last year with uh Patton, Robert Pattinson.
Yep,
He's doing it, man. He's
yeah,
doing it.
he's putting in that work.
He's putting in that work. That is the best way to say it. I can't wait to see what else he can bring to the table, so to speak. Especially with his role as Spider Man. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what he really becomes.
Mhm. So excuse me.
All right,
All right.
so we're moving right along, though. Pierce Brosnan, I believe, has
Yeah.
been cast as Doctor Fate in the upcoming Black Adam movie. Yo, I'm not really sure who that is, so I'm gonna look
He's
him up really quick.
he's the old 007.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap! That's really dope. That's really
I'm
dope.
excited. I love him as an actor, and so I'm pumped. I don't think trying to think. What's another movie that you would like? You could watch, and he'd be besides like the
No,
old.
I know who he is. I just brought him. I just pulled his picture up.
Hmm. Uh,
What was that noise? Y- yeah, yo,
I'm just like
that's pretty cool. I like Doctor Fate. Doctor Fate is really dope. He's a great character.
he's super strong
I'm
too.
not sure what made them want him for the role.
Hmm.
Um, but don't get me wrong, I'm still juiced for it, and I'm
Yeah.
ready. And I
You know
think
what?
that might actually be a really good casting choice.
Mhm. I
Having Pierce
just
Brosnan be there.
I just finished uh the deceased storyline. Holy
Mm.
crap, man! Like there's a whole Constantine and Doctor Fate and just like magic aspect to the whole storyline. Holy crap, it was so good, man. I
Oh
got
yeah.
blown away by the whole story. Um,
Ooh,
I'll have to let you know about that, but it's
definitely.
phenomenal.
I definitely need to know more about that.
But
You might have to do a comic book breakdown or something.
I might have to, man. I might have to.
Yeah, that might be. Ooh, I like it. Um, yeah.
But
So do you feel, or do you like that casting option for him?
you know, I like it. I mean, I think it's more of his voice because I don't
mm,
know because like he doesn't ever take his helmet off. I don't think.
yeah, he doesn't.
Um,
He's very similar to the Mandalorian, but
yeah, like in Deceased, for example, like Constantine needed his helmet, and so he stole the staff of Shazam or a staff of a god,
mm,
and basically like Shazammed him while holding his helmet, and that basically made his helmet come off. Otherwise, you can't take his helmet off.
sheesh.
Yeah, so it got real. Like Constantine was going like he was going like I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and I'm gonna kill whoever isn't alive per se. Uh,
That's crazy.
it's in order to save the world or save the universe. Um, so, but you know, I'm excited. I love him as an actor. I don't know a whole lot of Doctor Fate besides what I just said, but he looks badass and he seems like a pretty critical component to later on maybe bringing in Constantine because we're going to be getting another supernatural DC movie. Zatanna, I think that's her name. She's going to be
Ooh.
getting her own movie coming up here soon too as well. So, and I know they kind of work together along with Constantine and a couple others. So we have a lot to look forward to on the supernatural side
Yo,
of
yeah.
the universe.
I said this recently in one of our videos. I was like, yo, Marvel has pretty much got the PG-13 superhero area down
Mm-hmm.
packed, So I think the best thing for DC to do would be to take hold of that rated R scene
Yeah.
and, man, I mean, run with it. Look at
Yeah.
how good all of these movies are.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that me and you have said and agreed upon amongst anything else, because we definitely be disagreeing about how good these movies are,
Mm-hmm.
and how we rate them. But one thing that we definitely agree upon on is that if they were more gruesome, if they were more gorier, if we really got to see Wonder Woman be that vicious Wonder Woman that we know she actually is from the comic
Mm-hmm.
books, if we got to see that really dark demonic stuff in Shazam, if
Yep.
we got to see some of this really bloody gory stuff in Aquaman, it would have made every single one of those movies better, and we would have appreciated it more as a moviegoer and as a nerd, I guess you could
Yeah.
say, because they would have stayed true to the gruesomeness of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hope that that's kind of the direction that they choose to go from here on out. I mean, like we just said, watching Justice League, that was definitely rated R. The Suicide Squad movie that's coming out by James Gunn is definitely going to be, that's definitely rated R.
Yeah.
That had a red band trailer, and those were both amazing movies trailers, and I just hope they keep the ball rolling with that. What do you think about that, man?
I think it's a smart move if they decide to kind of go that route. For Justice League itself, obviously it's a 4-hour movie, but the rated R aspects of it did great in like adding chemistry to the characters, and
yes,
with Suicide specifically, if it does well, I don't see why they would want to steer away from the R-rated. Obviously, they're getting a less of the younger audience being rated R, but I think it's a smart move on their end to utilize that rated R.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. But moving forward, we got as part of the untitled movie, Disney had just released their like a breakdown of releases, and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was delayed till September 3rd. And you know what? I think it was related to Regal saying they're opening up their theaters April 4th, June 4th, I think, or April 4th. What are those 2 dates?
April 4th is Easter next Sunday, so I think it's probably June.
I think it's June. I think they said June 4th. I could be wrong, but shortly after they announced that, Disney released the delay slate that they had, because they delayed a bunch of other movies as well.
Yeah,
and so I think that's directly related to that statement as well.
Thinking, okay, get their monies.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited. I don't really know what's going to happen in Shang-Chi. It's MCU, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I just, man, like we always say about these solo films that we're about to get, it has to capitalize on that post-snap recognition, how it's affected the people. I hope they really capitalize on the mysticism of Shang-Chi, because that's kind of the direction we've been going with this MCU slate that we have anyway. This is like the magic slate, more than anything so far. That's what it seems, is it's the magic slate. And I can't wait for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, bro. The 10 rings in the comics are amazing, so I hope they actually, utilize the 10 rings as to them being very similar to Infinity Stones, So I hope that's how they utilize them in the movie. Have you ever seen the Iron Man show where he's a teenager? I think it's a Disney XD animated movie. Oh man, it's really good. And the main villain of that is I can't think of his name. The villain for this movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he has the 10 rings, and he collects them, and it's a very Thanos like thing that goes down, and it's a very good show actually.
Okay.
And I hope they kind of stay true to the 10 rings.
Yeah. Okay.
But along with these delays, though, man, Black Widow is also delayed and will now be released on July 9th in theaters
But
and
there's
on
hope.
Disney Plus Premiere Access at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, and that's kind of heartbreaking because we thought we had our birthday present. You know what I mean? We thought it was like, yes, bro, we can go for the B day and it's
Yeah.
gonna be lit. But they were like, nah, F y'all.
Yeah.
You wait until July.
And you know what? I obviously will pay the $30 to watch it, but
Oh yeah, but we're
I'd
driving
rather
to LA.
I'd rather much watch it in theaters first before we even watch it on Disney Plus.
Hell yeah.
With that said, let's hope we can find a theater near us, and watch it, because I think not only are we gonna like remember the day we go back to theaters, like as like a historical part of like our lives because of like
Yeah.
everything we're experiencing,
Yeah.
but we'll get to experience Black Widow, a movie that's eluded us for far too long.
Far too long, man.
Far too
It's
long.
been far too long, and
Yeah.
it's almost heartbreaking at this point.
Yeah. We just
But
want it. It's like the
we just-
Snyder Cut running away from us.
I just want to know who the hell Taskmaster is. That's all I want. He better be the best villain in MCU history with the level of anticipation there has been built up behind him.
They're doing too well. I don't even think the actors know. Otherwise, I think we would have known.
Yeah, I agree. He hasn't even been to any of the promotional things.
He probably only had, whenever he was on the set, he had his costume on at all times, and no one ever saw him
Exactly.
without it off. Like, he'd leave with it on, and then like couldn't take it off until he got home, type of stuff. Or even like in the car, blacked out windows in a limousine, just gets undressed and then drop. I don't know. I don't even know how they did it, but I'm sure they did something. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really, man, I don't know, yo. I love Falcon and Winter Soldier so much, bro.
It's
And
so good.
I know that movie is exactly like it's the baby of Black Widow. You know what I mean? And that just makes me like seeing Falcon fly through the air at the beginning of the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yo, so Marvel just wants us to understand that there's going to be fighting in the sky, because we've clearly seen from the Black Widow trailers that they fight in the sky. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, bro, let's just go. Let's get it. Like, give it to me now. Quit playing with me, Marvel. But hey, I understand, because I agree with you. I definitely would rather watch it in the theater first rather than watching it, on Disney Plus. But I'll watch it in the theater, and then we can go halves on that thing, and then watch it again. It's nothing, you know what I mean? I'm really juiced for that. But hey, it is what it is.
Yep. Moving right along. So this one's a little weird. Okay, so Warner Media and Sarnoff has confirmed that there is no plans to continue the Snyderverse following Justice League Snyder Cut, nor are there plans to release the air cut of the Suicide Squad. With that said, the way she worded it in her original comments made it seem like they're for sure not going to be canon. However, she didn't say that they couldn't continue the storyline like as its own thing.
So we're going to have two different DCEUs, basically.
Possibly. But I'm pretty sure she said it that way because as of now, they probably don't have plans to make it. But obviously, as us fans continue to grow and kind of push the release the Snyderverse movement, I'm sure they said it that way, so that way they can say, okay, yeah, we're still doing it. It's just not going to be a part of canon. With the air cut, I don't even know. Like, that one's kind of up in the air. I don't really know a whole lot about that. I know a lot of people were rooting for it. I know, like, in that version of the movie, there's a lot more Joker. But
I mean, what I'll say is that I wouldn't be mad about there being two separate universes, because up until this, that's basically how it was up until this point. Like, we had no clue that Superman and Batman were in the same universe until we got the Batman v Superman movie.
Yeah.
Like there was no seeds laid in order
Yeah.
for us to know that it was canon with each other.
Mhm.
And this is very similar to how the TV universe and then the movie universe are now canon with each other, with
Yep.
Ezra Miller appearing on the Flash TV show as the Flash. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that makes that canon.
Mhm.
And DC basically is allowed to do this though. Like
Yeah.
that's how we all know how DC works. Like all of
Mhm.
us know how DC works the way we know how Marvel works, but it's even more so with DC, like
Mhm.
because of how Flash is with the Flashpoint, and he's always messing with time, and there's
Yeah.
always interdimensional things going on all the time. Like it's always happening.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm down for it, man. I want it. You know,
Yo.
what
Yo.
battery? What?
Yo. Okay.
What?
What if the Flash from the Nightmare sequence comes into the Flash series, tries to warn him about Superman and Lois? Don't let Lois die, and like she ends up dying because there's Superman and Lois. The show is going on right now. Like, what if somehow she dies? Darkseid gets involved in the CW ECEU. Yo. Oh my god, like that'd be, and like his world is destroyed, and that's what concludes the Flash series. Like that, yo. And then like what
That
Joker
would
said,
be
like,
amazing.
how many worlds do you have to die before you have the balls to die yourself? Yo.
Man, I'm down for that, yo. I'm down for that. That sounds amazing, bro. Oh, you know how you have a sixth sense for these things, my brother. I truly hope that is what happens, because that would be a beautiful story.
It'll be a beautiful end to the Flash series as well, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, obviously I think another route is the Flash like getting his dad out of jail and stuff, but I don't know.
His dad is still in jail?
I have no idea. I'm like, where I left off,
think his dad.
He might be out at this point, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but that'd be a cool story though. Like Nightmare Flash comes in, tries to help, and like something goes terribly wrong amongst an invasion from Darkseid all at once. Lois gets killed because of Batman. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm down.
The whole Injustice theme just goes down. Yo, that'd be wild.
That would be wild. I want it. I want to see it.
Yep. That'd be insane.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I don't even know what I would do. I'd be like, all right, give me a week. I'm gonna watch everything.
Literally, I'm watching
probably take longer than a week, low key, but I would do it.
You'd have to watch shit at the same time.
Yeah, 3 shows all at once
at the same damn time.
Yep.
But yeah, going on to our last thing today. Marvel Studios is developing a Hawkeye spinoff series, Echo, for Disney Plus, and that is amazing because I know we just got the announcement that Echo was going to be in this Hawkeye series.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm down. Look at them. Cool.
And if I'm not mistaken, she's a blind Native American like fighter type character. If I'm not mistaken.
You know what time it is.
Oh yeah, let's check out that Marvel encyclopedia. And let's hear her story.
Exactly.
Let's see if we can see how Hawkeye is going to play out by her description. Let's see.
Because if you guys don't know, almost every time we open this book, it gives us a lot of stuff that's a lot of insight as to what's going on.
Like what could happen,
Mm-hmm.
Unless they like Kevin Feige it, and like we just don't know. So
okay, Echo. Here's a picture of her. Let me try to get that in there. Top right corner.
Oh, okay, I was like Egghead. I was like, what?
Can you see that? Can you see her?
Yeah, she seems like a fighter. Samurai sword, no.
All right, so her first appearance was in Daredevil #9.
Okay.
Her real name is Maya Lopez. She's an adventurer, a performance artist. She's based out of Los Angeles. Her special powers and abilities are she can mimic any physical action she sees, making her an incredible acrobat and
Yo,
combatant.
Taskmaster though.
Is Taskmaster low-key a
Yo,
female family?
is that what's
What?
happening?
What?
I don't
She's
know.
just acting like a what,
I don't know.
bruh?
Kind of her
See what I
dad.
mean? Every time we open this book, man. Okay, Maya was born deaf. Her father, wait, what? Her Cheyenne father worked with the Kingpin, who
Mm.
killed him, but honored his dying request to raise his daughter. Kingpin told Maya that Daredevil had murdered her father, and he also encouraged her to date Matt Murdock, Daredevil's alter ego. While hunting Daredevil, Maya realized who he was and spared him. She shot the Kingpin in revenge. She later became an Avenger as Ninja Ronin. Count Nefaria killed her while she was working with Moon Knight, but she later mysteriously returned to life and helped Daredevil fight Claw. Damn.
Okay, Claw's
She
dead
went
now, unfortunately.
she went through it. Yeah.
So, okay, first off, the dude who plays Daredevil in the Netflix series just finished filming for Spider-Man 3. So
Oh snap.
that could mean that he's going to be Daredevil in Spider-Man 3, and we could see him there. If that's the case, we don't have a Kingpin in the MCU, do we? We don't.
No,
right?
we do not.
I really like the Kingpin that we got in that series, though, the Daredevil series.
Yes, I
I
did
don't
too.
remember the dude's name, but he was such a good
He
Kingpin.
was a great actor. Yeah, he did a really good job. I really enjoyed it.
But yeah, that seems like a wonderful character arc. I'm kind of curious as to where they're going with it, though, since Claw is dead now.
Yeah.
So
But they have an abundance of
maybe we'll see her in Moon Knight.
background villains. I would like that too.
That'd be cool.
I can't wait to see. I want people to cross over. Definitely, like I want to see Maria Rambeau come out in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's the next thing that I want. You know, Monica Rambeau, not Maria. Sorry, Monica Rambeau. I want to see maybe something crossover. Let's see something. Let's see White Vision come and talk to Falcon or something crazy like that. You know, so. But yeah, that's awesome news. I'm juiced for everything to come with the Hawkeye series. I think the Hawkeye series is going to be really, really good. Like I think it's going to be really good.
And then is Haley Steinfeld, right?
Yes, I think so.
She's a really good actor, and something about her in terms of like the dynamic she has with other characters, and just whenever she kind of takes into characters is actually really, really good. I'm pumped. I'm just excited for what's to come within the MCU. Obviously, we have a ton of delays in the MCU. DC definitely has the upper hand on them on that part with HBO Max, and then also it being free. Yeah. But I get it. Disney has to make money, so
that's true.
DC doesn't have to run theme parks and a bunch of other stuff, so I get it.
Yeah, man, I'm just really happy and excited for everything to come from Disney Plus. Man, I hope you guys watched the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let us know how you felt about that. At the time of this recording, it is episode 2 that we just watched. And so we are going to get together this week and watch episode 3.
Our reaction to episodes 1 and 2 will be out, I think, Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's Tuesday.
Nice.
Tomorrow is our Suicide Squad video, I believe. So be pumped for that.
Yeah. Definitely. That trailer was amazing.
That was a fun trailer.
Yeah, it was. All those trailers were fun. That that wasn't the same day. Never mind.
Yeah.
But we've been watching a lot of good trailers lately. I will say that.
Yep.
But that'll wrap up this episode of Marvel Guys, Marvel Bros Guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I've been seeing you guys jump in and out. People are still hyped about the Suicide Squad movie. No one has said that they're over DC, which is a good thing. people are actually probably just now getting into DC.
Probably.
But make sure you guys check out our website, www.marvelbros.com, where you can watch us live. You can watch our past videos. You can also purchase our merchandise and watch all of the, keep up with all the news that we post. And also join our Discord in the top right-hand section.
Don't forget, follow us on all of our social media accounts at Marvel Bros 23, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube, where we post all of our stuff. And as of Tuesday, we will be all caught up. Check out all those as well.
That's right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next Sunday.
Appreciate it.
Excelsior. All of Marvel Bros Pop Culture news updates are now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. You can also watch Marvel Bros live every Sunday on Facebook.com, or you can watch them on YouTube, where we upload regularly. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Marvel Bros 23 to keep up with all things Marvel and everything pop culture.